Look at Brett's fantastic work. You saw the PLL commercial about our sticks being in Walmarts starting in February. Well, we're missing a few heads because we did a shoot yesterday evening with a famous actor out here. You'll see that soon. But if you didn't see it, this was the shortened version of the spot Brett shot. And well, you can turn around and show us the basement.
This is kind of has turned into the basement.
Yeah, it's really messy, but it's messy because we're moving. Have we told everyone we're moving yet?
No.
We're moving.
Breaking moves?
Yeah, so I slept on the couch last night and then recorded with Tony Hawk. We're moving to an office that has a real recording sign, but this worked this morning. And today's video, we're shooting the first hashtag Ask Paul in 3 years. Ready? Brad, cue the music.
But there's music for this?
There used to be.
Really?
Yeah. Did you ever watch hashtag Ask Paul?
No.
Just give me the camera and you can leave.
Okay.
Okay, welcome everyone. Hashtag Ask Paul.
This is actually perfect. See you, Paul.
See you, man.
All right. Bye. Enjoy the show, everybody.
Don't slam the door too hard on your way out.
I'm actually going to leave it open so you have to come close it.
Well, Brett. Our podcast is relaunching on Monday, February 1st, and we're going to launch with Mark Cuban, who owns the Dallas Mavericks, really famous NBA owner, is a big media predictor, and you all probably know him from Shark Tank.
So now there's me and you.
And we went at it for 60 minutes talking about the business of sports. He follows the PLL. I follow Luka Doncic. And anyway, I won't share the rest other than it's coming to podcast networks everywhere. So if it's Apple, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, wherever you listen to your podcast, we teed up on the community tab of our YouTube channel, which I'm pulling up right now, a chance for you all to ask questions. So I'm going to answer 3 of them here, and then one of them from the Apple Podcast app where, that's my mom. And that was me.
And now this is you, and this is me.
All right, here we go. I'm going to start with Julian Morales. He said, hashtag Ask Paul.
No.
You know what I'm doing, though.
Yeah, but
That means you've watched.
after
The truth comes out.
Whatever.
He said, hashtag Ask Paul. Is there any way that you can work with 2K Sports to make a PLL sports game? I know we had lacrosse games before, but we don't talk about them. Also, shout out Suffolk Lacrosse. Fins up. I desperately want a video game or a mobile game for the PLL, and we've been working on stuff for the last year. It's hard, it's expensive, and we want to do it right. So, Julian, great question, and stay tuned. You know, I mentioned I was recording with Tony Hawk. Like, he did that for skateboarding, and it was huge. Next question, Scott Redman. Scott Redman, I see you a lot. Thank you for the question. What can we do to improve the overall perception of the sport of lacrosse and those who play it? That is a great question, and it's really dense. And I would say number one is we have to embrace lacrosse players. And like, that means our sport. Like, those who currently play the sport are the people who speak the language, who love the game, who know how to string sticks, who like to go out and practice every day. You have to start there, and then as a league and as marketers, we want to introduce the sport to other people to bring in, and you do that through our NBC partnership and all these other things that we do on social. With regard to perception, it's a balancing act of what we allow us to bother us and our messaging of what's authentic and core to us. And nothing more authentic than the origin of the game, which is Native American. It was created by the Haudenosaunee. It's the creator's game. It's called Dehantik Wahes, which means they bump hips. So those stories continuing to go and evolve are a part of redefining maybe the perception of the game that you're referring to. Great question, Scott.
Can I add one?
Brett.
Be yourself and be the perception that you want lacrosse to be. You know, lead by example.
Last question. This comes from Isaac. He said, hashtag Ask Paul, how can I help grow the game of lacrosse in my community? Love that question, Isaac, and it is perfect follow-up question to Scott, because what Brett said is like, we have to be ourselves, but we also have to try and do our part. It's never one group, one team, one player that's going to change the sport. It's the entire community. So what I would recommend you doing is every time you're out there and playing and you see someone who may not know what you're doing or wants to have a catch, is have a catch with them. The best form of marketing 101 is called word of mouth. And our game has been growing to the size that it is today, I believe, largely because of word of mouth. So let's keep that going. And if you're in a place where you've played the game for a while and you have a bunch of backup equipment or lacrosse sticks that are in your garage that you haven't used, go donate them to the local park and rec or YMCA or even, a neighbor, like what happened to me. And finally, and this video will end us, I'm going to go to my Apple Podcast app. I'm going to type in suiting up. There we go. The show loads. There's Gary Vaynerchuk. Why is he there? Click on the show and click on subscribe. And let's look at your rating and review. We have over 1,000 ratings. So that's pretty awesome. But I think most of them came when we started the show in 2017. So if you haven't given us a rating and review, please do so. Here we go. This comes from Ty May, 5 stars. Ty, 5 stars back to you. Paul, you should ask your best guest how their hometown and culture affected their playing style. That's a really good question. I've never asked any of my 77 previously recorded guests that question, and it was very clear, and I do think that it has a big impression on us, is the neighborhood, the community, and the culture that we grow up with in the way that we not only play our sport, but approach our friendships and schools that we go to and so on. So great question, Ty. I will work that into this podcast. Mark Cuban's is recorded, so I didn't ask him that.
Tony
But
kind of answered that.
we don't know when we're releasing Tony yet. We do know episode 2 is going to be,
Can't tell him.
can't tell you that either. But comment below if you've subscribed, if you have left a rating and review. We'll leave the link in the description to do that if you haven't yet. Use hashtag #CleanTeam if you're on the notification squad. Leave a 3-finger emoji to recognize Brett and Big Mike, who keeps it clean, incredibly clean. And thank you so much for listening. Hashtag AskPaul is back. Brett, I'm going to make him do some editing.
Stop.